Hello, my dear friends. I am Mr. Dilip Kumar Pal, double gold medalist in political science, working as reader in political science. Today, presents before you with a very important video relating to international relations. The topic is World Bank. In this video, we'll mainly concentrate three aspects of the World Bank, like its composition, functions, and criticisms. We'll mainly concentrate three important parts of World Bank relating to its composition, functions, and criticisms. And the materials on World Bank is very much limited in various books, but I have collected a lot of important facts and informations relating to World Bank, and I includes all these things in this video. I think it will be very much useful for plus 2, plus 3, post graduation, and those students who are appearing competitive examinations. So, if you like this video, if you subscribe my channel, benefits will be for our students who will get new videos relating to important topics in future. Okay, my friends, we'll start. So, we'll take up today composition, functions, and criticisms of the World Bank. But before we discuss how World Bank consists of, what functions it has, and what are the loopholes or weak points it possesses, we must know first of all a few lines about the importance of the World Bank and its origination. So, what importance World Bank has? Just as a vehicle moves with the help of fuel. Without fuel, a vehicle cannot move forward. Or a human being will have growth if he will have sufficient food. Otherwise, the growth of a human being will be in problem. In the similar way, a nation will make development or upliftment if it will have fund or money or resource. If a nation will not have money or fund or resources in its hand, it cannot make advancement. So a nation requires fund for its development. At present, there are some developed nations like America, Britain, France, Australia, Italy, Germany. They are developing because they have resources. But in the world also, there are some backward nations, developing nations, underdeveloped nations who are away from development because they lack money or fund or resource. So, realizing it, in 1944, there was a meeting among some nations who realized that in the world there will be an organization to maintain peace. In addition to that, some organizations must be established who will provide funds to nations to make prosperity. These nations, mainly 44 nations, they assembled and felt that there must be some organizations in the world to help nations to make development by providing resource. So, in 1944, 44 nations assembled in Bretton Woods on 1st July to 22nd July 1944, which is in Hampshire of America. And in that conference, which is known as Conference on Monetary and Economic Matter, they in that conference decided to establish 4 organizations to provide resource to backward and developing nations to make development. So, in Bretton Woods Conference, it was decided that some organizations must be set up to assist poor nations by providing them resource to make development. These organizations were mainly 4. Number 1 is World Bank, which was established on 27th December 1945, and it started its function from June 1946, and it was regarded as an agency of UNO on 1947. So, out of these 4 organizations, the first organization was World Bank. The purpose of World Bank was to provide money to developing, underdeveloped and backward nations to make development. And World Bank has 2 institutions. One is the IBRD, International Bank for Reconstruction Development. Other one is the IDA, International Development Association. The function of IBRD is to provide funds to those nations who are economically in a better position. And the function of IDA, International Development Association, is to provide funds to poor nations. So out of four monetary organizations which are established under Bretton Woods Conference, one was World Bank. Second one was International Monetary Fund. The function of International Monetary Fund was also to provide money to those nations who were paid to obtain resources from any source. So the function of International Monetary Fund is to provide funds to those nations who are totally failed to obtain money from any source. Third one is the MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency. The function of this organization is to give protection to investors, those who are investing money in foreign countries. Fourth one is the ICSID, International Center for Settlement of International Disputes. It is an arbitration organization. The function of this organization is to settle disputes in the field of investments. Whenever any investor will invest money in some countries, if there will be any type of disputes, problems, it is the function of ICSID to solve those problems. So, out of these four organizations created in 1944 Bretton Woods Conference, one was World Bank. Now we'll see how World Bank consists of. World Bank at present has 188 members, and this World Bank has mainly two organs. One is Board of Governors. The function of Board of Governors is to make decision. It is the policy framing organ of the World Bank. It is the duty of Board of Governors to frame policy, to frame decision, or to formulate programs. But the implementing organ of the World Bank is the Board of Directors. And there are 25 Board of Directors of the World Bank. It is the duty of the Board of Directors to implement decision of the Board of Governors. Formulation of policy is not important. Important is its execution as well as implementation. The task of execution and implementation of the policy of the World Bank has been entrusted, has been delivered to the Board of Directors. And in the World Bank, there is also the President. The President is the Chief Executive of the World Bank. And the President is appointed by the American President. And the term of President is 5 years. But he is eligible for re-election. And to assist the President in his work, there are two executive vice presidents. Again, to assist two executive vice presidents, there are three senior vice presidents. Again, to help these three senior vice presidents, there are 24 vice presidents in the World Bank. So, it is the duty of the President to have watch over the entire organization World Bank. So, this is all about the composition of the World Bank. Now, we'll discuss what functions World Bank has. It has some important functions. Now, we'll concentrate on the functions of the World Bank. The first function of the World Bank is it provides loan to developing and backward nations with low rate of interest for development. The first function of the World Bank is to provide money or resource or fund to backward as well as poor nations with low rate of interest. Because if poor nations as well as backward nations will not be given money with low rate of interest or soft loan, they cannot make progress. So the function of the World Bank is to make available fund to poor nations with low rate of interest, so that poor nations will make best use of this loan money. Second one is provides loan to income earning projects. It is the function of World Bank to provide money to poor nations in income earning projects, like construction of seaport, construction of state highways, and construction of power projects. Because there are some projects, if they will be established, they will earn something. So the function of the World Bank is to provide loan to poor nations in those fields from where they will earn some money, and through this money they can repay the loan amount. Number 3, it provides loan to eradication, it provides loan for eradication of poverty. Because in the world there are some nations who are under extreme poverty. People of those poor nations, they are under substandard conditions. Food, cloth and shelter are far away from them. So it is the function of the World Bank to provide fund to poor nations to eradicate poverty. Number 4, sanction loans to control environmental pollution. Day by day, the environment of the world is in problem. There are some problems which are very dangerous for the inhabitants for the world, like climate change, ozone layer depletion, and accumulation of poisonous gases in the atmosphere. So World Bank is sanctioning money to those persons who are making research relating to steps for the protection of world environment. 5th, sanction loans to control epidemics. Day by day in the world, new type of diseases are coming, like AIDS, malaria, corona. So World Bank is concentrating on problems relating to diseases. It sanctions money for eradication of dangerous diseases in the world. Next, sanction loans to control child mortality. In many poor nations of the world, mainly Africa, Latin America, Asia, children are not getting nutritious food. So most of the nations are suffering from child mortality problem. So World Bank is assisting, is helping those nations who are suffering from child mortality problem. Next, sanction loans to agricultural development. Another function of the World Bank is to make available fund as well as resources to backward nations to increase agricultural production. It provides loans, it sanctions money with low rate of interest to poor nations to increase their agricultural production so that they will be self-sufficient in food grains. Next, sanction loans for gender equality. Now, in most of the nations, there was a gap between male and female. Females, due to lack of nutritious food, due to lack of sufficient foods, are dying. So the gap of male and female is increasing, and day by day female infanticide problem is coming. In most of the nations, female childs are being killed due to various reasons. So, to maintain good ratio between male and female, World Bank is also providing money. Next, loans for maternal health. In most of the nations, females are living under substandard conditions. Especially females are not getting nutritious food. So if females will not get nutritious food, automatically they will give birth to substandard children. So female health is important. So World Bank is funding poor nations to promote maternal health or the health of the females. Then loans for structural adjustment program. Loans for structural adjustment program. It means there are some poor nations, as well as backward nations, their economy are in such a condition that they cannot cope with developed nations. So, in this context, World Bank is assisting those poor, backward and developing nations to develop their economy, to promote their economy so that they can cope with the developed nations. So these are the important functions of the World Bank. Now we'll discuss what are the criticisms of the World Bank. No doubt the World Bank is delivering a good service. No doubt it is providing a helping hand to all nations. But what are the weak points of World Bank for which it is vehemently criticized? It is severely criticized. What problems it has? What loopholes it possesses for which it is severely criticized? The first important weak point of the World Bank is that it works under the pressure of developed nations. Some developing nations allege or accuse the World Bank that World Bank is working under the direction of the developed nations, to whom the developed nations want. World Bank is giving loan to that country. To whom the developed nations do not want, World Bank is not providing money to those nations. So the World Bank is working under the direction, supervision of the developed nations. So World Bank is unable to maintain its neutrality. So it is criticized by, for this reason it is criticized by developing nations. Number 2, interferes in the internal affairs of nations. Another criticism against the World Bank is that no doubt the World Bank is giving loan to poor nations, but by giving loans to poor nations, it interferes in their internal affairs. It provides loans under some conditions. It provides loans under some directions, under some principles. So the nations who are receiving loan from the World Bank, they are under some conditions. So backward nations accuse the World Bank that by giving loans to poor nations, it puts some conditions before them. So it is interfering in the affairs of the poor nations, which is not good. It strikes the sovereignty of the poor nations. Okay, my students, in this very nice video we have discussed importance of the World Bank, origination of the World Bank, composition of the World Bank, functions of the World Bank, and criticisms of the World Bank. And I think this video is very much useful to those students who are attentive to this video. This video does not point out only the main points of the World Bank, it goes to the details of the World Bank. I am full confident, I have full faith that this video will be very much useful for my students. Okay, my students, smile please. Again we will be here in the next video with a very important topic. Okay, goodbye to all. See you again. Bye.